Now, hey guys, we are live. So let us recording. Let's see. Just wait, guys. We had some tick. There. Yes.
Hello,
hey, Jenny.
hello.
Nice to see you, my friend.
Hello, my dear. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay. It's been a really busy day. I'm gonna take a nice deep breath.
Do that, my love. Do that.
All is well. All is well. It's good to see you again.
Likewise. Likewise. Yeah, and you guys, before we are starting, Jenny and me, we are doing a little bit connection before we are going into this amazing topic we get to talk about. So Jenny, first time, thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for being a part of Conquer Me, O Demon.
Yeah, well, thank you for the invite. It's my pleasure.
You are most welcome, my friend. So I put a comment in the chat. I just want to check in with you if is that topic we get to talk about. Just being like clear on that one.
So I just want to open this up. Okay. Alchemized Freedom. Ooh. Well, is that our topic for the day?
That was what right in the Google folder. Just like, okay, we're going for that.
We can totally go for that. Oh my goodness. Holy cow. There's a lot to that.
We are in an Airbnb still out in an amazing home.
All this sharing here. Okay, we are going for that topic.
Sure, why not?
Let us do that.
There's a lot to it. Holy schmoly. Yeah.
Okay,
I'm gonna let you start though.
Okay, amazing. Okay, let me share this here. Yes.
And how long are we talking today? Is it an hour?
Half hour.
Half hour. Perfect. We're gonna have to talk fast.
Yeah, I know. We too. We can talk a lot. All right, let's see here, guys. Wait, hold please, guys. I don't know why it's not. I don't know why there's no picture.
Uh-oh. Oh, do I have to do something at my end? Nope, my video's on.
No, it should be on. It's just like it's not on, seems like. And now it's on. I don't know why, what is going on here. Okay.
Can you see me now? Ta-da!
I can see a beautiful face, my love.
Thank you. Oh, that's the nicest thing anybody's ever said to me. I'm gonna put that in my pocket.
You are a beautiful lady, and the spirit, the voice, the energy, and yeah, last time we connect was it was really beautiful connection, and I have that feeling in me of connection, power, love, and also of playing out of the frame on like seeing your painting, follow your work. It's just like you will inspire me to paint out of the frame, paint out of what society is, and really find my color, finding my scent of playfulness in the work I'm showing up. And so you really a big inspiring when I see your work, when I on your ass in your workplace, like, who is that again?
We're designing a clothing line, and one of the designs is color outside the lines. So this is appropriate for you to talk about that. How cool is that? Yeah.
That was so interesting. Like paint out of the line, and you create something just like, oh my God, so interesting.
You must be psychic.
I have.
All right, like psychic message.
Really, that is a world I get to go into adventure and find out who I am in that world. That world really scare me, to be honest, because I'm a huge believer in the other world. There's another world we cannot see. I'm a huge believer on that, and it's freaked me out when people say, Tanja, you get to connect with like you can talk with spirits. I was like, oh my God, now it's coming up again.
That is going to start happening more and more as the veil begins to lift and we step into the new earth. It's going to happen all the time. I had an experience yesterday with my mentor where the energies came in and like truly saw me, and it scared the crap out of me, right? Like we all walking around, right? We want to be seen. I want to be seen. I want to be seen. And then the divine goes, okay, I see you. And we go,
yes.
Uh-oh. No.
Oh my God, I really love that. Like also when you really put it out there in the world, and that world is so interesting. Like I really believe on science, I believe on this meaning with everything. And sometimes it's just like, holy crap. Oh my God, I was not ready for that. Okay, I'm going that way.
Right? Yeah, it's kind of an interesting thing, which is really that's what Alchemized Freedom really is all about. It's how we shift and change. What I do as an artist is alchemy, right? Yeah. I'm translating divine messages. I'm co-creating. That's what conscious art is. Yeah. You know.
Oh. Okay, let's start this intro because we two can talk
forever. I know.
Okay, so to your audience, thank you so much for being patient with us and staying here and tune into this amazing talk together with Jeanne Bessette. How do I say it? Last name, my friend.
Jeanne Bessette.
Jeanne Bessette.
Bessette. You're making
Bessette.
It hard. It is.
Jeanne Bessette. Oh my God. So
I know.
funny. Me guys. Pronunciation names. It is important for me to learn because it is important for me to learn it.
Indeed. You got it. You got almost right. It was almost right.
I take that. Okay, to you guys, welcome to Conquer the Mirror Demon. My name is Tanja Andersen. I am your host. And today you get a little bit peek of who we have with us today. And her name is Jeanne Bessette.
Brilliant.
Welcome, my friend.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. It's a real pleasure to be with you today.
You're most welcome. And I have shared a little bit around why I pick her. So I get her contact for someone, and I was just like, okay, who is this lady? And I get a link to her webpage or social media. I'm just like, oh, that is very interesting. And I really saw this beautiful, as you can see in the background, one of her pictures. Her pictures is really like, when I look at them, it shake me up. It's calling me on something that is like that feels scared, or that is feel like when it's time for me to go forward, or feel I'm normal, or feel I'm seeing her in her painting, in her color, how she paint out of the frame. I really feel the picture is meeting me inside of something that is time for me to unlock and get that out to the world. So her painting, how she is showing up on a picture, this amazing crazy lady, as I'm really connected with, as I am a crazy one with messy hair sometimes, just like amen, so that there's a powerhouse out there that is like me with my funny hair sometimes.
Just a great big toddler, that's all.
So that is who we have with us. So Jeanne, please share a little about who you are so the audience get a sense, because you are a conscious audience, you are a speaker, you are a guider. So please tell us a little bit about who you are.
Yeah, I'm all those things and a bag of chips, as my dear friend always says. I am a conscious artist. I channel art through a co-creation with the divine. I bring and ground in and translate and allow messages to come through me. So I had to really learn to get out of the way, right? I had to learn to get my ego out of the way, to get Jeanne out of the way. And I can feel it when she's in the way, right? And I've got such great stories about this, but I won't go into them because I know we just don't have that kind of time. However, my paintings now are intentionally created to raise the consciousness of the planet. Period. End of story. That is what I do. That is what my speeches are about, my lectures. That is what my teaching when I work with, clients is about. I don't do a lot of one-on-one work anymore. I don't have the time. But my group, my programs, all of that is all about raising the consciousness of the planet. And to be honest with you, I know that your platform is a lot about facing our trauma, facing our wounds. And this is a way to alchemize those wounds into something greater than we think we can be. Doesn't always have to be dragging through the mud. Some of it does, because we're afraid and we are traumatized. If you're on the planet, you're traumatized. Being born is traumatizing. It's the first visit, right? Is like, what just happened? So it starts with that. And so there is no escaping it. There's no escaping the pain. What can be done though is we can heal without the patterning of the trauma and the repeat. And when you talk about the mirror demon, right? We are looking at ourselves in the reflection of the world. Yeah. And change what's on the inside, and then the reflection will change as well. But the art is a tool. It is alive. It is no longer a pretty picture like AI does, right? AI can only make pretty pictures. That's it. That's all it can do. It can't do what I do. It can't do what humans do. And when we get out of the way, we allow the divine to come through us, and we can channel. You were speaking earlier about the world we can't see. Yeah. The world we can't see is the real world. Yeah. This is a holographic universe. Now, as I say that, right, doing, it's like, what does that mean? But it's true. And once we start to realize that, and we move through and raise our consciousness, things will change on the outside. It is only a reflection of what's inside. All the fear, all the pain, all the trauma, all of the, right? All of the shame, all of the grief, all of it, anger, all of it. It's all a part of what's inside of us. And once we change what's inside of us, the world's going to change. It can't not. It has to. So that's my little section of the light work, right? And to bring joy into people's lives and color.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I talk all about freedom and coloring outside the lines, but I used to be as hypocritical as the next guy. I would conform, and it was causing me pain. Right? I'm a quirkopotamus. Be one, be quirky, right? Be the unicorn, be special. So, but it took me 60 years to give myself permission to do that. My mother always said, after you're 60, you just don't give a damn. And it's actually true. It's kind of true, And so that's what I bring to the world. I can't do it any other way anymore. I tried.
My God.
And I can't.
It's so interesting when you say that the last point was like you try, because when I look back of when I get my birthday, the 24th of July, I was just like, what have I created? And I was like, of course I create a lot of healing for myself, self-awareness about myself, healing relationship. Of course, there's a huge part of to really be healthy. On the facts on my business side, like on my vision, like what did I specific facts on the table create so that I can live by to be entrepreneur? I was like, nothing. And what I was really getting connected with in my last year, I have focused on to fit in, to be perfect, have perfect makeup, have perfect hair. And I just feel someone was choking me because it's not who I am. I am messy. My hair is like a nest sometimes, and I love it. And sometimes I love without makeup, with makeup, funny makeup. Sometimes I play with makeup as I was 5 years old, and it's like, whoop, I have a party with makeup. And this seems so funny in my face. I was like, I don't care about it. And it's taking time to come to the point. And for two, also what we share together is this first now in my life right now, I really feel I'm me, like I'm living me, who I choose to be, instead of be this perfect picture, perfect picture, perfect things on social media, instead of just like focus on the connections and be real and honest on the social media.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because we think, especially, I mean, we live in different countries, but in the United States, if you're not producing something, you are nothing. And it just isn't true, right? And the healing actually, right? That's what leads to your freedom.
Yeah,
you're free now, and until then, the healing has to occur. It's part of the journey, right?
Yeah, 100%. So the topic we get to talk about. Oh, are you there? The internet was breaking a little bit.
I'm here. You're there.
Okay, that was just the internet, just like.
Yeah, it's been a little shaky today. One of my team members asked if it was Mercury retrograde yet, because she's like, "What is going on with the technology?" I said, I don't try not to pay any attention to that kind of stuff. Because you get in your head, things are going to go wrong, right?
Oh my God. Oh yeah.
That's what editing is for. And people get it, right? We were just talking about being messy, and the wire, the Wi-Fi kind of messes up. Good. Okay, good. Thank you for the confirmation. Right?
We are source of everything, like be messy and just like chopping.
Right? So speaking of the mirror demons, right?
Oh my God. If you look back in the past, for me to be messy, I was like, oh, can we please end this video and make a new one? Like, it was so messy.
Yeah, we can end the video.
Oh my God. Yeah.
We just don't know that we can. That's, there's so much to it. But yes, Alchemized Freedom.
Yeah, Alchemized Freedom. Talk a little bit about what does that topic mean? Because I'm interested in the first word. That is very interesting for me.
Alchemy is something I've studied for many lifetimes. I'll go ahead and say it that way, because I know I came in as an artist, and an artist is an alchemist. It's what we do, right? Excuse me. We transform one thing into another. And alchemy in its day, right? The metaphor for alchemy was turning lead into gold. And so what alchemy literally is it's burning away what we are not. So how do we do that? There's a million modalities in how we do that. I do it through creativity. I do it through what I would call shadow work. I do it by walking in nature. I do it by every day trusting that even when I'm a hot mess, I'm still a spiritual being, right? It's all spiritual. I do it through being imperfectly perfect, right? I mean, why can't we just admit that being on this planet is already messy?
Oh my God, yeah.
It's all a part of it. Just because I say everything properly, or I do everything properly, or I don't do this and I do that, doesn't make me better than you. It makes me different than you. That's it. And I don't know more than you. I know something different than you. So when I talk about alchemized freedom, I'm talking about the undoing of the lies that we tell ourselves through any way of healing, and many, many, many ways. Breath work, yoga. I mean, it goes on and on and on and on. One thing I have learned is you can't do it alone. There's no way, right? You cannot.
100%, you cannot do it alone.
And it really magnifies the concept of oneness, that we're all connected, right? And that, like, we're never alone. And I'll be the first to admit, I've been very lonely in times in my life. I've been lonely in crowds. Because I'm so different. I'm a very unique individual, and I know that about myself. I was the black sheep of the family, as they say, right? But alchemy is all about the undoing, and the gold is inside of us. It's already there. It's dying to shine through. Like, right? And once we get rid of all of the crap, and we're never going to get rid of all of it.
No.
But when we begin, we make room for that divine nature to step into us and talk through us and act through us and channel through us. That other world isn't over there. It's right here.
Yeah.
It's part of us. So yeah, and that's what alchemy is, right? Alchemy is it's about the mind, for sure. Our mind is what puts us into suffering, right? What do you think about what do you think about what just happened? Well, I feel terrible, or I feel exposed, or I feel shame.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Or I feel angry. Why? Well, because I didn't get my way, for one. Like, whatever it is, when our personalities step in, that's that ego part of us who has a job, earth guidance only, because the ego is needed. I can't pick up a paintbrush without my ego. My ego won't, right?
The ego will always stay there. We can never like let it go of ego. Ego is a half of 50-50, I say. You can learn how to be in it and learn to be in control, like have the power in your hand instead of ego have the power over you.
Right. You can't let it drive the bus. It'll drive. Jeanne will drive us right into a brick wall every time. Every time. We don't let Jeanne be in charge of anything. And when she does take over, I'm starting to really notice it. You know, I'm like, oh, okay, Jeanne wants to be in charge today, or right, she wants some attention. She's clamoring for attention. So it's a razor's edge, you know. But that's what the work is, to expose what is not true, so that we can finally come into a conscious way of being, so that we can see what is true. And our natural state of being is joy, it's bliss. And I'm not going to lie, I've only seen snippets of it, right? And here I am talking all about it. I've only seen it like, right? I could maybe hold it for a day. The next day I'm like, well, that was fun. Now what you're going to do to mess things up, you know? It's all alchemy, all of it. And once we start accepting the truth of who we are, the messiness, the hard, the mud eating, the drowning, it's all okay. And then and then I can accept you with all your faults instead of shaming you and judging you. Because if I'm shaming you and judging you, it's because I'm shaming myself for the exact same thing. That's the mirror demon.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It is like to really, as also what you talk about, to really embrace every side, every smell, every color, every shape, like everything of your past, of the ego, and see it as the biggest gift. Because I really believe the ego is, of course, the ego is there so we can survive. Like there's a part of us where we're surviving. And how I look at the ego is, okay, you are the biggest gift for me, because as you know, we get to speak light or life over ourselves, so that our brain see it as a delight or see it as a gift. And for me to really embrace who I am, to be honest, I've done that like for a few weeks ago. It's really like saying enough. I step into who I am, I choose to be. When I choose the ego to run me for half hour, it's just like, okay, shift new moments. What did I learn? What message did my ego have? And I call my ego the beast, because I see myself as Beauty and the Beast. So I choose to have a little bit of fun with my ego. It's just like, okay, there you was again, my little beast.
If you remember, the beast did get the pretty girl.
Yeah, because I am pretty girl, and I'm also a beast inside. When it's coming out with claws.
Yep, I get it. Totally get it. And you know, when they talk about, it's interesting when they talk about I don't know who they are, but they talk about the dark night of the soul. And it's not really the death of it's not the dark night of the soul. It's kind of the dark night of the ego, right? We're taking the ego and we're not killing it. That's not the plan, because we can't be here without one. But but the ego has an amazing place in this experience. And it's to help us understand what we like and what we don't like. My mentor says it creates contrast. That's what the ego does. So You look like you're worried about technology. Are we good? Can you see me and hear me still?
Can you still hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Dun, da, da, da. I think you should leave it in. I don't think you should edit it.
Oh, I feel a little bit hot now. It's like,
oh no. Right, doing
Oh my
things live. Woo.
I was going to check something for because the audience, Jeanne also have amazing free gifts. So it was like I wanted to check in what that was about, and I was checking in on YouTube, and we are live on YouTube. I was just like, oh
my God, that's great. Yep. Talk about jumping off the cliff and building your wings on the way down. It's all good.
Oh my God.
Trust.
So I'm interesting before we are really sharing like what you have to the audience is how did you come to the point to be the artist as you are today? Because you are a successful artist and you create like art that is out of the imagination, like huge big painting, and you're selling it. Like how did you come to that point to really owning your voice, owning your being, owning your color?
It's a choiceless choice. When I decided that I was going to be an artist, I'm not going to lie, I worked very hard, but I didn't have to do a lot of the things that many artists do because, and this is something I've learned right through study with my teachers and my mentors, and it's my dharmic path. When we align with the truth of who we are, we actually can't fail. There's no failure.
Oh, wow.
Because you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. And the closer I get to that, the more success comes in. So it's, I used to try to teach other artists how to do what I do, and I stopped doing it because I realized that not everybody is following their true path. So let's say I really wanted to be an artist, but my true path was to be a brain surgeon. I would never have the success as an artist because I was destined to be a brain surgeon. And that's what I'm beginning to understand is your dharmic path. When you go off your actual path, your divinely aligned path, you can't fail. You just can't.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How do you know you are on the right path? Like, how do you know you have your, like, this is my purpose with my life?
Oh boy, that is an inner, yikes. That's a hard question. That is an inner knowing, right? It's just trust in the divine, right? Stop asking for proof. I keep being told, stop asking for proof. I got you, right? Because not every day is, I'm not like this every day, right? I'm on camera today. So, yesterday I was under the bed, like, right? I mean, you really do have to continue walking the path. You have to tie your sneakers. The divine's like, hey, I got this really cool thing for you, but you kind of have to put your tennis shoes on. Like, oh, okay. You can't sit around and naturally let it come to you, except that kind of you can.
Yeah.
I got out of the way. That's how I know. And my life is a testament to that level of surrender and trust. And still I could wake up tomorrow and be completely not trusting. Why? What's that about? Right? Some old aspect of me trying to sabotage things, or right, some other little personality part of me who's not in control, so she gets pissed off and she's like, I'm not going to do that thing today. like
that was me today. It's like,
right? Anamana, I'm not doing it. Yeah. So, and you kind of learn to tell the difference. Like there's a voice in my head, and then there's the voice from my heart. Also kind of feels like it's in the same place, but it's not. And the voice that comes through, what I'm noticing is like the voice that comes through like the back area, and this is just me, I don't know if everybody's like this. That's the higher voice. It's the one that's in this area that gets me in trouble. It's like, and I'm learning the difference. It's in a very, very tiny different place in your body. And the body is a barometer. It'll tell you exactly what is good for you and what isn't, what you need to be doing and what you can't, right? It'll tell you. And sometimes it'll tell you to do something and you're like, I don't want to do that. And right?
Oh my God.
I'm not
I experienced that so many times, like praying for a sign in like the 24. There's effects, like so a good example. The 24 April 2019, I was desperate. I was suicide mode, like playing with a knife on my throat and all that fun stuff. And I was asking for a sign, like really, like I was crying and I was not thinking clear. I was just like in shit. And I was asking for a sign, and it was so clear, like so clear as a light in my mind. I say, sell everything. And I was just like,
wow.
And I get so pissed, like, hell to the fucking no. I'm not selling my shit.
You cry.
I get so pissed. I was like, wait, saying, calm down. You know, you ask for a sign, you get to do. It's like, okay, I start a little bit. I choose to sell everything and say goodbye to my home, say goodbye to my apartment. I only have 6 plastic boxes, a little bit things in a bag, my car, my birds, and I was out the 30th of December and traveling to Guatemala, live in the jungle for 5 months. That was my turning point of my self suffering and darkness to choose self-love, because I did promise mom to do everything that was in my power to change my life, because I was close to take one life that was so close in a car in 2018, and my mom saw that. I was like, okay, I promised my mom to do everything. I have not done this, so why not going for it?
What a great story. Thank you for sharing that. Holy cow. I mean, I really do believe, I think some people spontaneously awaken, but I think for the most part, many of us do it through some sort of struggle, you know, or a deep challenge, near-death experiences, all kinds of experiences that bring people to like, oh my goodness, right? This coming to Jesus place within ourselves.
Exactly.
And honestly, people have asked me many times, like, I don't think it's just one event either. I think it's a million tiny deaths, right? And we actually have to give up what we think is really important to us to allow that thing to come in. And I've gone kicking and screaming and biting and crying. I've done it that way, and I've done it with a little more ease, and I've done it both ways, you know? And honestly, ease is more fun. Ease and flow is a better way of doing it. But I will tell you, my personalities, my egos, those aspects of me, not only from this time, but from some other times and other dimensions, man, oh man, they're a pain in the ass. You know, when they show up and I'm like, oh, like, right, you again, or some other version of you, or you sneaky, right? Like they come in and they're like, you know, they're all sneaky, right? Yeah, like you won't notice if I'm really quiet out, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, what the hell? And so the more, and of course, the more you think you're awakened, the sneakier they get.
Oh
right?
my God, yeah.
You're like, still, you know, and I think as long as we're on the planet, yes, still, yep. Me again, still screaming for attention. Ay. But yeah, I just, you know, the art helps.
Oh my God, yeah.
The art helps. The art is something that is channeled from a different dimension, and it's healing. In fact, I'll tell you a funny story about the art. So I was working on a painting. It's the one over this shoulder. I don't know which way you guys are facing, but it's
with the polar bear,
all the power animals. Okay.
Yeah.
And so what happened was I showed the painting to my mentor, and she reads energy. And so her name is Rena Parikh, by the way. She's, oh my goodness, I couldn't be, you know, right? We all need teachers.
Oh, I also have coached, like, you are only coming forward with someone that support you, I have your back.
That's right. Somebody who's a little ahead of you, right?
Of course,
So,
get to be like.
And that's what we're doing now, right? We're like, okay, I've run through the mud. Let me show you the way out. Yeah. Anyway, I'm working on this painting and I think it's just fabulous. It's just pouring out of me, right? And my mentor says, Rena says, oh my gosh, the energy in this painting. I'm like, what are you talking about? Well, ultimately what was happening was there was an aspect of me who used to be a shaman. And I've got a lot of aspects that were shaman, healing people, right? God. But this was a dark shaman trying to sabotage something, right? This is like, you think you're going crazy when this stuff happens, right? Well, what happened with the painting is I was literally outing that aspect of me to be shown and seen so it could be cleared and healed. I'm like, what? And then once we did that, the energy cleared from the painting. It became a very powerful painting. That being in the painting is in charge of her world. There's nobody's messing with her, right? But I didn't realize, and there was a succession of the painting. Someday I'll show, you know, like what came before the finished piece, right?
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
The eyes changed. It, like, she was angry for a while. And I'm starting to do, I'm going to start recording when I paint, just because.
Oh, you get to. I love to see it like that.
I know people love to watch us paint.
Yeah.
And, you know, I make a lot of mistakes that I don't want you to see, just like in life, right? And so it's a beautiful metaphor. It's part of the alchemy. How we get to the finished piece is through a series of layers and mistakes and a line drawn that's wrong, or somebody's nose is too big, or whatever it is, right? And so it's a beautiful metaphor for what's actually going on here. We're just creating, we're all creatives. We're just creating things as we go along. And that alchemy of getting to a place where we feel free. Freedom is when we truly begin to trust that we really are not in charge. I'm not in charge of a damn thing. Not one thing. Nothing. Zero. And that's how you know. When you know you're not in charge and everything starts to flow and fall together, to answer your before question about how do you get to that place where you just know?
Yeah.
Been on the planet for 60 years, for one, you know.
You don't look like that. I will never believe yours. That is like, no, that lady is not there.
No, thank you. Well, I don't act it. I will, you know, let you know that, yeah, right. I'm just a giant child.
I love that. Just like me.
But right. And, you know, once you really let go and you stop grasping at things, you know, and as I speak to you, it's like I'm speaking to myself. Stop grasping at things, because I grasp at stuff every day.
It's still coming up like,
oh, sure, right? Oh, wait, right. I don't want to bypass, or I don't want to chase that, or I don't want to, oh my God. It's a moment by moment decision.
Oh my God. Yeah.
It's moment by moment. You can't check out, right? This path is not for the squeamish. You can't check out. You got to pay attention all the time. So yeah, I don't know how I know. I just know. That's the short answer.
Oh my God. I also believe, like, one point you touched was, I really believe, and you did also share that, like, we get to lose ourselves to find ourselves. And for me, oh my God, how many times I have lost myself and lost my identity.
Yep.
To we again, who is this lady? And we define myself and we store myself again and again and again. I really believe, for me, is that path to know what I want in life. And in the past, I was so judgmental around, like, because you get to know what you want in life, as I have been treated as a little girl, like, you need to know what you want, where you're going. I had no clue. And on the first, now I know, okay, now I'm on this path and this way to choose.
Yeah, this is it. This is what I'm going to do. I get it. And I've changed who I am over and over and over. Every day you're a new person. You're a different person.
Yeah,
right?
because you have learned something new. You always like new
Who
if
I
you
am
choose
today.
it.
I'm like, right. I look at like my life, especially over the past 6 or 8 months, like that it feels very accelerated to me lately. I'm a completely different person. Like if I run into somebody that I knew a year ago and they have a concept of who I am, they're living in the past, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I saw a meme this morning that really struck me, and it said something like, the issue with healing is the person that you were that went through the healing has to then become somebody new to completely separate from that person. Otherwise, we're just still carrying the baggage. You know what I'm saying? So we keep like identifying with, that's why people who identify with trauma or identify with, whatever that is, and we do have to look at it.
Of
But
course.
the minute we're looking at it and we focus on it, we're like identifying with it. So we don't let ourselves fall apart or like die, right? Because yesterday I was talking in a session with, again, my mentor, and she was talking about, we're so afraid of death that we don't even let the old us die, because we think, oh my God, that's the end. What's going to happen?
Wow.
How do I get to the how do we get to the unknown? Well, the unknown is where the divine is doing its best work, right? But as I'm sitting here saying this, I'm like, do I really believe that? Right? Because not every day do I believe it. And I know that happens. And that's the day that I work on, okay, let me release this now. Let me release this now. Let me take this part. And what happens is you release all of that layer, and then a deeper, darker, scarier layer comes up, and you're like, oh, great. You think being spiritual is going to be like a joyride on the carpet with unicorns and flying whales. It's none of those things.
No,
it's
not my path to healing.
Right?
It was a myth.
So yeah, I just yeah, oh my goodness, I could go on and on about
and
it,
also one point also what we talk about the audience is so important. You get to choose to have grace with yourself, because when you choose to learn, I have no clue where you are in the beginning, in the middle, or you're strong in self-development and healing yourself. Yep. You will fall off the hist like a little kid that's learning to be on a bicycle. The little kid is falling so many times and going up again. That is the same with self-development. Please never stop. One point, and I really talk about experience, you will hit it. It had taken me 10 years to the 23rd of July this year. I was really hitting why did this ever start with, why I choose unhealthy relationship, why was it so uncomfortable for me to create relationships. Right. Was because I have a huge abandonment, trauma, and crisis, and I hold myself back because I would never experience the same kind of pain. The pain I experienced when my dad, he took his own life. That's why one of the many things I hold myself back to create deep relationship, like with Jenny and with other speakers. Like I was like, hell no, I'm not giving a piece of me, because they have the power of me. It's like I get to heal and let go of them. And when I shift that, it just shifts everything in my life. It was just like a light bolt. I've never experienced so big light bolt when I will like face what it exactly was and go in the darkness and be the lights to light the room up, and take the little kid, me, Tanja, 5 years old, up in my arms and say, I hear you and I'm here for you. Let's be one together. It is time for us to love each other.
So sorry. Please forgive me. Ho'oponopono, right?
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
so sorry. Please forgive me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, because when we're screaming at the top of our lungs, it really is our little girl, right? It's our little person who was abandoned, tortured, abused, whatever it is. That is who is healing. It's not you and I sitting here. We're doing great. We're fine. It's those little girls that live inside of us that are screaming at the top of their lungs. And sometimes we've left them behind on purpose because we can't handle the pain.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Go back and get them, and they're I have retrieved soul retrieval work is something I've done, and lots of it. And I've retrieved all kinds of little girls from my past, all the way up to teenager, right? Where you're just like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry I left you there. That was just, it was too painful for me to look at you anymore. And so once you do that and you allow that to integrate into the wholeness of who you are, you can feel that sense of relief. Because it's her that's crying and screaming. It's not me. I'm an adult now. I know I don't act like one, but I am one. So it's right. Those little tiny parts of us. I have proof that I'm an adult.
It's so funny when people are like, how old are you? I'm 20. I'm like, oh, not 20. Why did I say 20? I'm not 20. Like, I feel just like I'm still like a teenager. I'm like,
well, if you think about it, some of what I've realized is when I'm acting in ways that's either immature or unacceptable as an adult, it's because that little girl got fractured and separated.
Yeah.
And so she's the one screaming at the top of her lungs, raising a havoc. It's not me, but it's a part of me. It is me because it's a part of me. And once you realize what's really going on, you can go in and you can heal all of those fractured pieces. And they're not only this lifetime, not only this dimension, parallel universes, other dimensions, other lifetimes, thousands and thousands of projections that we are all at once. Sometimes you ever say something and you go, why did I say that? Like, and you don't even feel like it was you. And all you want to do is pull it back. You're like, holy crap, I can't believe
where these come from.
I can't believe I just said that, right? Or I can't believe I did that. Like, I would never hurt anyone, but I've certainly hurt lots of people.
Just like me. Yeah. I have definitely hurt people. Yeah.
Hurt people. The only thing you can do is do better next time, right? And then find who's hurting people. Find out who that is inside of me, right? That one that's raising all the problems. Like, okay, let me go get her. She's obviously in pain.
Yeah.
But you're right. Until we do that level of work, which is not for everyone. I've watched people in my life run away from it.
Oh my God, me too.
And think that they're not running away. Okay. Like, right? And maybe I'm the one that ran away. How do I know? Right? Like for real, I can tell you all day long how I'm doing the work. Maybe I'm not the one doing the work. I don't know. The only thing I can do is trust.
I also really believe there is a power in running away. Like in 2030, when I choose to let go of my anxiety pill, throw it out in the toilet and say goodbye to everything, like the big drama queen, like I'm shifting my life. I was wanting to Borneo on that point and was volunteer for the first time in the jungle for 3 months and work with sun bears. I did not know I was running for my life. On that point, when I saw a bear named Gutuk in the eyes, he was blind, bad skin, have a small body because he have lived in a small cage and his body have grown into the cage. I just feel this like big of justice feeling in my body, like justice for the animals. And on that point, I saw my vision for the first time in the eyes when I look at the bear in the eyes. So sometimes running away can be the key to finding yourself, sometimes not. I believe everything is a venture into redefine yourself and create the identity you can be proud of to look in the eyes.
So when is your book coming out? You have some stories to tell.
Oh my God, I have so many.
Wow. Yeah.
I have started on it. So Conquer Me Your Demon as the summit now start from a book. I start to write when I come home from Guatemala to write all my like the demon, because I really feel in the past I was possessed. Like I saw demons over the floor and I was so afraid to say it because my mom have worked in a hospital with guys that saw demons over the floor and again going crazy. And I was like, I'm not sharing that with someone because I would be locked in the hospital.
Not true. I had not the same experience, but very similar experiences with demons in my room, right? Yeah. And where does that come from? And it's all us, right? We're the ones projecting But when it comes in your room in the middle of the night, you're like, holy crap, right? Yeah. And so I've had those experiences of feeling very possessed by some outside energy, either that I invited in for some ridiculous experience, or like, why anybody would do that, right? Like, why do we stay in bad relationships? Why do we continue? Like, when we know something is better for us, well, sometimes we're just afraid, right? The familiar is something that is very powerful. So I don't know if you know, it's interesting that you bring up the running away part. Even that is a judgment, right? We're always running towards something better for ourselves. It's just a choice into a journey that we're choosing for us. Wow, you just kind of opened up a big old thing for me. I'm going to have to go journal about that. It's really something. Thank you. Yeah, it's really something to be said for all of that, because in the end, you weren't running away, right?
No.
You received exactly what you needed to receive.
Yeah, and the funny question is, on that point, I thought I was running away. Like, I did run away. Like, I thought it because I was so much in pain on that point. No one knows I was in pain because I was so good to fake it to make it. Like, I could lie my ass off. And if people say, I can see when people's lies, they're like, bullshit, because I'm just lying you in the face right now.
You became so good at it.
I am so good to lie, to be honest. Not something I'm proud of. I've lived my whole life in that because that was my surviving mode.
I was going to say, that's how you got to this level, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, it's so interesting when we look back on the things that we did to stay on the planet, right? For me, I would drown myself in alcohol. That was what that was my escapism. I could run away standing in place, right? Because I'd glug, 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 glug. So when I realized what that was, what I was doing, I you know, right, I had to stop doing that. I was like, oh, this is not, so you can't take with you going forward. Once you see what's when you're hurting yourself, you can't take it forward. You can't take that with you, because it got you here though. So you can't judge it either. You have to go, oh, wow, that's amazing. I can't believe how I got here. I must be this tenacious, powerful, badass being to get this far. Still here, So, but you can't take it forward. You can't get to the next level in the avatar game, right?
No. I would also believe there is meaning with everything, because also to the point, like, I was not running away. As a little kid, I was sawing this like big TV of a person that was saving the rainforest, saving the animals. And what do I go for now? The same in next year. So for me to choose Guatemala or Borneo or Africa, I choose the jungle because there's something that was calling me or pulling me into that world.
Right. That's amazing. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I don't think I would ever do anything like that. That's just, I can't, right? Just not that person.
I'm Jeanne in the jungle, as I see myself. Like, I want to climb the trees.
For real. Yeah, that's wow. But it's an incredible story, right? I mean, I have different versions, I suppose, but yeah, I just but that's how we get to the place where we understand who we truly are. That is the state of freedom. Like, I don't need to care anymore if you don't like me, because somebody else is going to like me just fine. Somebody's way more suited for me, you know, that will enjoy me being on the planet. So it helps us stop chasing, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway,
we have 1 hour left. What?
Fantastic. Well, you knew that was going to happen.
I was like, my mind, no, it's not going to happen. I was like, you know, it's going to happen because you and Jenny is good to connect and talk. It's like, oh my.
I am always willing to connect with you. It's always so great to be in the company of your face. So yeah, thank you.
Likewise. So before we're ending, my love, I know you have a free gift to give to the dear audience that is watching this amazing interview. So what do you have to the people that's watching this interview?
Well, it's a fun thing. I have a freebie on my website that is I think it's 10 or 12 printable Oracle deck cards that you can have for your very self, print them at will. They're all, able to just put cardstock in your printer. I am working on a PDF file for that actual deck so that people can get prompts and work with the symbols.
Oh.
So it's fairly new, yeah. And I'm also developing a video for some folks as well. But that's for now. What I do have now is a printable digital portion of an Oracle deck. We're actually designing several decks right now for people. Yeah, it's kind of a big deal. There's a lot going on in my life right now. So
I know you are very successful, and it is amazing. I look so much forward to see you trailing around with your painting. It's like,
oh yeah,
please, yeah.
Yeah, the song "I'm Coming Out" it comes to mind.
Yeah.
So it's happening, and I'm very excited. Next 2024 is going to be a really big year. We're taking 10 large paintings on a tour. It's called Gaia Rising Immersive. And we are just building the website now. It's going to be a big deal, and it's to help raise the consciousness of the planet.
Oh,
exciting stuff.
Love it. And to be honest, where do you get this free gift? You go back in your newsletter where you can access that, or go below this video. That is also how you get access to it. Jeanne's information is below, so you can catch up on where it is on the social media. And I will invite you to click on the link to be a part of her community, be a part of her world, so that you can really dig deeper into your freedom around art and painting and this amazing topic that's called ascension freedom.
I'm not helping you.
Because you're that messy. It's like, oh my God. So my love, the last words. So what advice would you give to your 20 years old you, for the wisdom you have now to your 20 years you?
Keep going. Keep going.
I'll keep going. I was like, what?
Keep going.
Amazing.
Keep going. Follow your heart. It knows the way. Keep going.
Yeah. Keep going.
I'm right here. Come on.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So to you, dear audience, thank you so much for watching this amazing interview. And we will invite you to click on the link to get her freebie and be a part of her community. We will invite you to do that right now after this interview. And thank you so much, my love, to be a part of this amazing summit as you are part of, and creating magic and creating change of a global awakening on the summits.
Thank you so much. You're such a doll.
Likewise, my love.
All right. Have a great day, everybody.